even if you buy them on eBay, they're about $300 or so.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
John, you're not in the car business anymore. Is that right?
I still do my car radio show. Plus, I've got my business. I have about 100 trucks, so I have my own fleet business. So in a way, I still am. Yeah.
Because I'm
And
trying to buy a used Lexus GX, and oh my gosh, the price last night when I went to the place was so high. And then I'm like, well, I want to get it checked out by a mechanic, which I don't necessarily have. So maybe you can give me
yeah,
a recommendation. Good.
Sure,
And
be
I
happy
and
to.
I deal with nylons a lot, in terms of, well, he's my friend, Robert, so he
Right.
could check out the body.
Okay. Where did you find it at?
Well, this one was at Champ BMW, but Lauren Fix, our car coach, says, no, you have to go to the actual dealer to get a used one. All right, here we go.
Welcome back to Daybreak USA.
Got some very diverse topics to talk about with John Rush, the host of Rush to Reason. And John, a gun show customer story about license plates coming under scrutiny. IRS subjects Tea Party groups to new round of scrutiny, a lot of scrutiny here. And Clown Lives Matter. They plan a march. Oh my gosh, give me a break. Good morning, friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. So let's start with the gun show customers. What about their license plates?
Southern California, they are using the police. Police have readers typically for license plates. As you're traveling around at any point in time, police could actually be reading your license plate, checking out who you are you legit, those sorts of things. Well, guess what? They're now using that same technology and those readers as people enter and leave gun shows in Southern California, supposedly to stop gun trafficking coming from the border, but we all know where this can lead.
So what do you think about that?
I think if I were going to a gun show, I would rent a car or I would borrow my neighbor's.
I borrow my neighbors. Okay. The IRS subjecting Tea Party groups to new round of scrutiny, publicizes tax return data. Now, I have to be honest with you, John. I'm one of these people that wants to believe the best in people. When the whole, news came out that maybe people who are conservative or Tea Party people, that the IRS might be, harder on them or scrutinize them more, I thought, oh no, how could that be true? Then when we found out it was true, I was actually quite shocked because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I thought, oh, please. It was true.
It was very true. And I like you. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I did a show on that the other day, frankly. So I am not one of those. But this is very true. And frankly, Angie, this is being pushed down from the top down. Trust me in that. This is coming from the Obama administration. They want to exclude certain groups of individuals from having 501c3 or C4 status. And this is one of the ways they're doing it.
Interesting. All right. What is this Clown Lives Matter story about?
I have no clue. When I saw this, I just started laughing. First, I thought, wait a minute. Don't we have better things in the country going on than worrying about having a Clown Lives Matter march? But yeah, it looks like in Tucson, Arizona, October 15th, 6:30 p.m., people are to wear clown makeup or masks, and they're trying to show that all clowns aren't bad.
Yesterday we had Randy Sutton, Lieutenant Sutton with Blue Lives Matter on, and he talked about the story that just breaks my heart. This 17-year-old boy, his name is Brian Ogle, at school they'd been wearing some of the kids' Black Lives Matter shirts. And so he posted in support of police on his social media page. Now, granted, I don't know about his specific posts, but from what I understand, he was attacked by adults as he was coming home from high school. And he was kind of walking home from, I guess, the homecoming game on Friday, and he was in the Ace Hardware lot. And it wasn't just kids. From what Randy Sutton tells me with Blue Lives Matter, he was beaten by adults, and that he has a head injury, 3 skull fractures, trauma to his shoulder. He had to be airlifted to University of Alabama Birmingham Hospital. I don't know how beating up a kid who supports cops in any way, shape, or form furthers their message.
It doesn't further the message as far as I'm concerned, Angie. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, it just proves that a lot of them are just thugs. They have an agenda. It's not about Black Lives Matter. This is, again, this is another agenda being pushed down from George Soros. He is funding the majority of these Black Lives Matters movements across the country. If you don't believe me in that, go check it out for yourself. But he is funding the majority of these. A lot of these protesters that are out there are paid, believe it or not. They're not even protesting on their own free will. They're being paid for that. And it's not a movement. This is as far as I'm concerned, a disease that's inside of our society that somehow, some way we need presidential leadership to get rid of.
All right, here's what his mom says. Instead of us planning for his 18th birthday, we're here. She means at the hospital. And last I looked, he was in critical condition. Why? Because he made a statement that he backs the blue. I'm still trying to understand how someone, no matter the color of their skin, could do this to another human being. And she added that her son had received some threatening messages after he made the positive "I support the blue" message on Facebook. So just very troubling. So
Yep.
What are you excited about covering in the next few days, Mr. John Rush?
Well, we have been talking about, let me turn my mic down a little bit. We have been talking about the presidential, vice presidential debate, which frankly, if I said this yesterday, if I had been in the room during the debate, I would have somehow wiped the smirk off of Tim Kaine's face because it absolutely drove me crazy. Pence did a fantastic job. I thought he was just fabulous. He represented us very, very well. The conservative side, I should say, represented Trump very well. He did a great job. He got interrupted 70 plus times because Tim Kaine couldn't shut his mouth. But other than that, it was fantastic. So we're talking about that. Plus, I've got a lot of faith issues we're going to go through here in the next couple of days. So just our normal routine at Rush to Reason.
Love it. Rush to Reason, John Rush. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care, Angie. Have a great day.
And interestingly enough, what John was just talking about, Chris Matthews, it pained him, but he had to admit that, yes, indeed, Pence did win the debate. Look, it is painful for him to say it. All right, let's talk some entertainment headlines. Prince's Paisley Park opening to the public. Netflix promoting Gilmore Girls with coffee shops. What's up with Kim Kardashian's bodyguard? Oh my gosh, that story will not leave the headlines, like multiple stories. Ben Olson is here with this morning's entertainment news. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Angie. Time for some entertainment headlines. NBC's Today's Show is getting an exclusive preview of Prince's recording studio, Paisley Park. The legendary singer's sister told Al Roker Prince did plan the building to be a museum. Paisley Park received a temporary permit to operate that way, but no new tickets will be sold until the Chanhassen City Council decides on whether to rezone the building. Prince's recording studio opens its doors to the public for the first time today. The effort to bring hip-hop artist Drake to Drake University in Iowa may have paid off. Students at the university had organized a social media blitz to bring the rapper to the college. After Drake took to the stage at the Wells Fargo Arena on Tuesday night and rocked the house, the rapper made a quick visit to the college to snap a picture in front of the Drake University sign and posted on Instagram. Netflix transformed hundreds of coffee shops across the country in honor of the return of Gilmore Girls next month. Netflix set up over 200 pop-up Luke's Diners in several states yesterday. The shops were only open for one day. Kim Kardashian's bodyguard is deleting every trace of Kardashian from his social media. Kim and Kanye didn't fire the man, but the bodyguard is deleting pictures as a safety measure to block crooks from getting to them. Chrissy Teigen says baby Luna has her husband John Legend's temperament. The outspoken host and model bragged about her baby girl in a recent appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show, saying she's really such a good baby because she has John's temperament. Thank goodness. I'm Ben Olson for Daybreak USA.
Thank you very much, Ben. Well, coming up, a little boy, 12 years old, he racked up a $112,000 bill. You know when your kid gets your phone or something and you're like, oh, you bought an app. Well, this kid, 112 grand. What did he spend the money on, and will the bill be forgiven? We'll talk about that and other amusing and serious news headlines on Daybreak. All right.
Hey, Chris, you there?
No, he doesn't think he'll make it.
No, I'm here. I'll be here.
Okay.
There was an ad playing.
I just can't prep. All I can do is throw in 2 cents because
Okay.
I have to email. I have to finish this, which I'm now done with, but
Sure.
I haven't had a chance to read up on everything. So
Okay. Want to start? Well, want to start then with the Florida Christ, as I put you there? You
I
want to
can
start
do
with
that.
the hurricane? Okay.
that I can do.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, can you turn on your camera? All right, here
Yes. Okay.
Welcome back to Daybreak USA.
Hey, Angie Austin here, along with John DeMaster and Chris Barnes. We are going to start with Florida bracing for Hurricane Matthew. Let's get rolling, Chris.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Angie, this is not one of those cases where this is going to veer off anytime soon. So that's why people who are in the path, the currently projected path of this storm, are told to really take their precautions because they are running out of time to do so. It's going to hit the east coast of Florida. Probably within the next few hours, it's going to start showing up as some increased winds and a lot of heavy rain starting to develop. And then the worst of it is probably going to hit a little bit later today and tonight. And then from there, it's going to go brushing up against Georgia and then up into South Carolina. And then at that point into the weekend, we're expecting it to actually veer off into the Atlantic. At least that's the currently projected trek. And then it's going to veer off into the Atlantic and sort of hang out off the coast of the Carolinas for a while. And eventually, they believe, probably just then veer off completely into the Atlantic. But having said that, all the forecasters say you never really know with this kind of a storm. They're giving us our best projections as of now. So even the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast should stay, vigilant and keep watching the direction of the storm because it's not an absolute certainty that it's going to do that veer thing. But in any case, Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas certainly to get hit by it.
All right. This is a much lighter story, but we've been teasing this. I want to make sure we get to it. Did you know that male squirrels spend all day loafing and basking in the sun while the females do all the work? And I'm sure this does not translate over to humans.
Not at all.
Oh, of course not.
No.
They watch football too, Chris.
They watch football.
The
All right,
female
so-
squirrels bring them beer.
My cat used to watch the TV. I didn't know squirrels
Your
did. How
cat
often are
did.
how
I saw the
well,
video of your cat watching the History Channel. That was hilarious.
And what was funny about it, and the only reason I posted it is it wasn't just that he was watching TV. He was particularly fascinated by a documentary about cats.
Oh,
And I
love
mean like
that.
one of those silly things where like he's looking at the screen going, "Oh, look at that cat!" Rah, rah. He just sat there. He
And
just sat
stared
there
at
like
it.
a student of the documentary for like 20 minutes. He just sat there and watched
Wow.
this cat documentary.
Funny. All right, so male Arctic squirrels in Alaska, they do nothing but loaf or bask in the sun while the females do all the work, a study has found. While the females busied themselves harvesting nuts, looking after the babies, making sure the den was clean, the men rarely left their burrows all day long. When the males did venture out above ground, you're like, oh, maybe they went to go gather some nuts. No, they went to rewarm themselves by lying out in the sun. That's what they do.
I think there's a political agenda here when you kind of alternately went between the reference to males and men. They're not men.
Ah, yeah. Did you catch that,
They're
huh?
not, it's not, they're not men. They're male squirrels.
All right, and I have to say, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a man basher. I think society bashes men way too much. I don't like it when sitcoms make the dad out to be the doofus. And my
Yeah.
husband's super hardworking. He would never sit in the burrow all day while I gathered nuts. He would be out there doing more than just sunning himself.
Okay. And
Okay.
I don't live in a burrow.
Okay.
That's
John.
funny. Yeah, in Nevada, more than 200 students at a Christian school get the chance to meet Donald Trump during his visit to Southern Nevada. And we didn't put this audio in the sheet, but did you hear Donald Trump and voters in Nevada not agreeing on how to say the state's name? Let's listen to Donald
Nobody
Trump.
says it the other way. It has to be Nevada, right? And if you don't say it correctly, and it didn't happen to me, but it happened to a friend of mine, he was killed.
So, Chris, Nevada.
He just got it. I know somebody prepped him ahead of time. God love him. Somebody prepped him ahead of time, and he just got it backwards because I learned a long time ago. Nevada. Every time I have a story about Nevada, I get all really excited about the fact that, oh, my listeners in Nevada will know I know to say Nevada because I would never say the other way.
Is it Oregon or
I don't even
Oregon?
want to.
It's Oregon.
It's Oregon. Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I've been
hate
saying
all
it wrong for 35
same
years.
thing. And by the way, this little known fact, it's New Hampshire.
Oh, really?
I gotta write that on my hand.
That makes you sound like an idiot. You think that's funny, don't you?
I do.
Hampshire.
I do.
All right, John, we have to do the story about the kid that racked up the $112,000 bill. Like what, buying apps or buying What did he do?
This poor guy thought that he was earning money through this advertising account that he opened. You've seen these, what's it called? The Google AdWords. So he thinks he's making money this whole time through something he's doing on YouTube or something like that. And it ends up where he's actually being charged for these Google ads. And so he runs up this $12,000 bill. And then his parents get contacted because Google wants to take the money out of this kid's, savings account. And it ended up that Google said on Wednesday that they studied the case and they've canceled this poor kid's $112,000 bill.
They canceled it?
Yeah, they said, forget it.
Wow.
Yeah, they let the bill go.
Never
What are you going
happens
to do?
to us.
Yeah,
Well,
like $112,000 bill for a kid. Are you kidding me?
They probably figured it was going to cost more to try to fight to get that money than it was to just go, you know what, we'll just...
Forget it.
We just introduced a new smartphone. We'll make that money back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so a company has introduced a way to save the environment. Believe me, I'm all for recycling, but these are apple peel shoes and bags. They take apple peels and they turn them into a leather-like product. Can you imagine what you smell like? I wonder if it still smells like
I thought you meant it
chips.
was like made by Apple. It's an actual
No.
apple peel.
Yes.
This is a real Apple product.
Yeah.
Yes, and
right.
they actually look really cool. Apple peel, women's bags, vegan, okay. And I want to say I am a little bit of a nut when it comes to my water. So Chris, if you go to Water with Angie, there is a really cool thing that I'm using every day now. Water with Angie. It's a purifier. It's super, super cool. Hey, thank you guys.
You sent me a link about that. Yeah.
Check it out.
Water.
Ah.
And there's also a website